was going to get to
All right,
that.
we are live again. Thank you for those who have hung out.
Nothing.
We went on Wi-Fi. We got cut out the first time, but we are here.
And Eric's here too. So
multiply. Eric's here as well. So Eric, thank you for jumping in.
A pleasure.
And thank you guys for jumping in as well. If you have not ever participated in Tuesday 7, we're just a group of creatives, and we gather once a week and we check out stories, promote what's going on, and we're certainly excited to talk about 20 years with this band. And we encourage you guys to participate here live as well. I see that it looks like folks are jumping right back on. So thanks, guys. We got cut out the first time around.
Welcome back, sir.
If you were with us last week, we were down at the Brown Hoist Studio Masters, and they're doing some incredible stuff down there. There's a drawing group that meets once a week. Some really great artists. But we drew the winner from last week's giveaway, and that winner is Jennifer. And we thank you for sharing. She has the opportunity to sit for the group, and if she's a little bit sitter shy, and then somebody else can sit in her place. But it's gonna be a great giveaway.
I'll do it.
Tonight, we are gonna chat, and we're gonna maybe just kind of listen in to these guys.
shit talk.
Shit talk.
Each other mostly.
Yeah.
Look back over 20 years and talk about their upcoming show in January. But before I shut my mouth and let these guys start to talk, what I wanted to do was to encourage you to share. At the very bottom of your screen is a share button. When you share, we know it. And if you share, your name is going to be put in the drawing next week. And if your name is drawn, you get a pair of tickets to the concert on January 13th.
13th?
Yes.
13th. And they're going fast, so if you don't already have them, you should get them because you
They're selling, very well.
Capacity
over half capacity already, which is crazy for the Agora Theater. Very excited.
Month ago.
We still got a month, yep.
A month from tomorrow.
Very solid pre-sale. Pre-sale's higher than most shows we've done. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's why doing it at the Agora, because they've been promoting the hell out of it. I see the ads pop up. And they're doing the work, so definitely making the awareness for it. So
hire the pros.
It's awesome.
Hire the pros.
It's very exciting to be able to play the show there. Because it was it was the venue of the first, Ventana show ever was at the Agora, opening for Mushroomhead.
I didn't even think about that.
So wow.
Yeah.
That's why it's almost poetic. We're 20 years later headlining Agora Theater.
I must have worked that show. It was 2004. That's 20 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You should keep
I was
it old
there.
school.
I don't remember why.
Well, put yourself on the clock that night as well. Keep it old school.
So not all of you were part of the original, right?
No. John Sustar started the band, and then Brandon Gohan, which you know as well. They started the band right at its inception. John had gave me it's 2-song CD. Met him at Old Peabody's, and John was this crazy dude. Fucking, real loud about what he was doing. It was really excited, and him and I became friends, and he gave me the CD, and I listened to it, and was like, hey, this is some really cool ideas, I can get behind this, it was cool, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna and then I put the pressure on him, and I'm like, you need to turn this into a band, because he didn't really have it as a band. It was him just kind of fucking around with stuff with Brandon. Put this into a band, put you on the Mushroomhead thing with the Cleveland Music Fest or whatever.
Yeah.
So onto that. So Ventana got onto that. Mushroomhead headlined. That night, and that was the first show. And then I was in the band that joined in on DJing and stuff like that. And then after that show, got Dan because the drummer that John kind of just got last minute was not the greatest. And I instantly was like, when I joined the band, I was like, nah, we need to start. Let's start firing people now.
Now that you've hired me, allow me to fire everybody else.
Now we can go through it and pick through it.
Okay, I've done that to a couple guys.
So, and then Dan, right away, brought him on board. And then years later...
We'd sit in your Ford Ranger smoking weed. I'm like, this shit rocks, dude. It's I want to be a part of this. Get me in.
But and then, years later, Tom got involved, helped, write the last 2 records with a lot of the ideas that we had floating around and a bunch of his original stuff.
That's a funny story. Is our conversation. That's 15 years of the band later, but we can talk about that. We talk about that right now. Also 20-year tradition is me and Rick will throw a ridiculous 4th of July rager. Not every year.
Oh yeah.
But if we're both in Cleveland on 4th of July, there's a try to blow your head off and try to have 10 fingers and 10 toes and maintain your girlfriend on July 5th party. You don't always get all of those. You get one, or you sometimes you get 0, sometimes you get all of them. So I don't know, what year was that?
The first one?
Well, the year we talked about this. It was when we couldn't do it at my house anymore. We did it at Brandy's. Was that 15?
It
was 2015.
I think majority came out in 16, I think.
Yeah, right? That sounds good.
I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sure,
Don't quote
Sure,
me.
fact check us later.
So it's end of that party. We're drunk playing Mortal Kombat, and I'm like, so hasn't Ventana put out an album since 2000?
Yeah, 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Well, X, Y,
Survival Guide was 2009.
X, Y, and Z, and I'm hammered. I'm like, I'll write you some songs. He's like, yeah, dude, go nuts. Yeah, write me some songs, cool. And I went home and wrote like 6 that week, and it's like, hey, here's all these songs. I was like, cool, I'm gonna come over and talk about it, and came over and ended up using like 4 of those on that album, and another 4 or 5 of them on the next one, and.
Yeah, the other layer to that is I manipulated and tricked you, because remember we were going to do that side band.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, well, hey, how about you just like
that's right.
some Ventana stuff
That's right.
instead.
Yeah.
And then
Turned in
it
6.
pivoted.
It turned in 6. It was like, all right, so songs 1, 3, and 4. Can I get those for Ventana? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. No, I'm being partially funny.
Well,
but
that's also that is also correct.
Because it was that's dead for the dead.
Death for the dead. Yeah. Which will exist someday.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Hey, what's behind the name? Who came up with the name?
Ventana. John named it. And
wasn't he in like Spanish class or some shit?
It's Spanish for window, and people are. The cool part about that is like it probably literally meant nothing when he picked the name, but it sounds cool. The name meant
it looks cool.
And as far as like a concept, you can take the image of a window multiple different ways. Metaphorically.
Big doors fan and windows.
Yeah, people can kind of paint their own picture of what the name might mean to them.
Yeah,
that's the way I kind of look at it instead of saying anything in particular. So it is kind of clever when you think about it.
My favorite thing about it is just when you see it written down, the letters.
Yeah.
The T's are right in the middle, and then there's a V, and then there's an A.
Until the band Veil of Maya came out.
Yeah.
Because their logo, the big V and the big A, because it's Veil of Maya, and every time I see it from afar, I'm like, is that Ventana? I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, you get all stoked seeing it.
Someone's waiting to
Veil of Maya looks like Ventana from far away.
Those guys are sick, too. They're heavy as fuck.
Take us on tour, Veil of Maya.
It'll be the V&A tour.
V&A.
Vagin ass tour.
There's 30 people on here. They're chattering about. Thank you guys for jumping, and please share too, so this can get out to a whole bunch of folks too. You guys brought a whole bunch of talent into the group. I mean, where did you guys? Maybe we'll start with Rick, and then just kind of go down the line. Like, what bands, have you performed with, and what talent are you bringing? Have you brought, to Ventana?
Well, shit. I mean, shit. I've fucking been in a band since high school. Since like what? Downfall of Society. Canister. Moko.
Yeah, DJ that? Creepy Crawl.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And then
Sandusky.
And then got my break. In Mushroom Head. For 20 years until I pivoted now with the Haunted House stuff. Crossbreed have helped them numerous years and being in and out of that band. That's kind of it, I think, band-wise that I fucking do. And then Ventana, and then because like music's kind of like now taking that, because now obviously the Haunted House stuff.
Yeah.
Which that world still works in.
Same but different. You're always really good at painting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, mostly you know, with Ventana, it's like starting a structure of like, here's an idea, and then passing it off, and I send it, you know, to Tom, and here's this loop, and then he sends it back with, you know, a million different changes, and then, you know, pivoting it back, and then that's how John and I work as well. John would write song structure, and then we would just kick it back and forth and come up with, you know, the final idea, and then coming up with like imagery and, you know, all the, you know, stuff, the typical stuff that, you know, I usually do with, you know, the visualization, you know, the video production and all that kind of stuff. But on the last two albums, Tom helped tremendously with the writing.
It's my favorite part.
Because yeah, when John kind of took, you know, the step out of the band, and you know, everything's all cool, but like didn't have the other person to like bounce stuff off of, you know, like with that. We still have stuff with like Dan and shit like that, but it's like different when you got someone that, you know, sit there and like edit it and be able to play the guitar and then play, you know, whatever.
John and I are cut from a similar cloth. We're psychopaths. We like to hide in our laboratory, and I don't think either of us can explain our process. I mean, I can't speak for him. I can kind of explain mine, but I'm just nuts about gear and writing, and I don't have any formal training really. I just always kind of understood music, I guess. And
what other bands, you know?
oh, I don't know if you have enough battery for this.
Yeah, bring it.
My high school band was Chokeslam. Yeah.
I got VHS tapes of that.
Yeah, me too. That was the first thing I did that like played shows and had a demo. None of it was good, but it actually existed.
You guys were cool.
Thanks. I just saw some footage of that. I was 16.
Kelly
Yeah, it's
Keaton
gross.
says 100 bands later.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. About 111, I think. Oh God, how do I even do a timeline?
And
for
their
this?
fan clubs.
Right.
Sadist Factory.
Sadist Factory. That was a weird interim thing with a bunch of people I've been lifelong friends with and still are and still work with every day. Then Slutbox was probably the next biggest thing. Where that was the first thing I joined. That was the first thing we did where like we had a demo that wasn't terrible and people came to our shows and there was a buzz, and we opened for Mushroom Head pretty much every Mushroom Head show. I was on the road crew for Mushroom Head then, so that didn't hurt.
I remember being on, I was in a recording studio doing auto thread stuff, and the kid that was tracking us had a Slutbox signed guitar, and he's like, you guys, you know, got some Slutbox?
We're total dorks. That's fantastic. I love that story. After that, Slutbox turns into Keratoma. That's some of my favorite albums I ever did. That was a half a big deal for a while. I was doing Carmen Bosia at the same time. That's a fun band. That's very insane, Mr. Bungle-esque scenario.
How many pounds of spaghetti did you guys make for that show at Peabody?
I don't know, but I was really fucking mad about it.
I was always astounded by
Somebody, one of those guys, JC or Harry or Steve, just texted me because they just watched that show, and it had to have been JC because he's a wrestling reference. He said, "That was your best heel turn ever." I don't know if you've ever been around that much spaghetti or had it thrown at you or had it all over your hands, especially if it starts to dry, but it's really sticky, and you can't stand on it, and you can't play guitar with it on your hands. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I played in Dead Even in the middle of that too. Did that for a while. They were half a big deal there for a minute.
You played in Dead Even too.
For a minute, for a second.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
forgot to throw that in. But I wouldn't consider that like something I like helped write or do anything. I just like did a couple live shows to help out doing some samples. It was fun because our mutual friends. And
Right.
we were young and had time to do shit like that. And like, yeah, sure, I'll dick around.
Y'all be in your band.
Push some fucking horror movie samples in the background. I don't give a fuck.
Rollerblading on stage.
Yeah.
And then I did like a punk rockabilly metal thing called X Members thereafter. We did a quick tour with Mushroom Head thereafter, and then that kind of fizzled out. Drunk talked Rick into letting me join Ventana. / he made me do it.
Yeah.
I half-assed him, he half made me do it.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do it.
Didn't want to do it, full of order to him.
I told him no more 4th of July fireworks unless you like help write some Ventana stuff.
And then I did such a good job, he made me be in Mushroom Head for a while.
Well, I didn't make you do that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. No,
I had nothing to do with you being in the band. Don't give me that credit. Although I mean, obviously.
That's a funny story. So I
have your back on, you joining me for sure.
Appreciate that. I've never seen Breaking Bad. And
I thought you were going to say Breaking Benjamin.
I've seen Breaking Benjamin. Rather, at least once or twice. I've never seen Breaking Bad, and it was cold winter night, and I was living with the girl I was dating at the time, and she was busting my balls. I never seen it. I was like, all right, tonight we'll watch a couple episodes, and I'll see how it goes, and then we'll probably watch all of it. Watch one episode of Breaking Bad. It's like 12:30 at night. My phone rings. It says Rick Thomas, and I'm like, he didn't send me a text like, hey man, what are you doing? He just called me. And I was like, pause this for a second. Hey dude, what's wrong? Who's dead?
Yeah, who's dead at this time?
And, current guitar player Mushroom Head had left, and your name had come up. What do you think about that? It was like, I mean, yeah, but let's come talk about it. But yeah, I think yeah. And I never saw Breaking Bad ever again. And then, I don't know what I do after that. I wrote a bunch of wrestling theme songs for some pretty big dudes.
Mm-hmm. You were on the sidelines for a while as, being a potential guitar player anyway.
Yeah, I've been around that.
It wasn't like, just like with, Scott thing.
That's how all this goes. Everyone's
we were all
adjacent.
fans of Mushroom Head,
right.
And then we wound up in the band at some point.
Ventana's like the AAA team for Mushroom Head.
But we all originally started as being like hardcore Mushroom Head fans.
For sure.
And still are, obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you what, the comments are lighting up. There's a bunch of folks.
Patrick Spicoli over and over again.
And I'll tell you what, for those folks who are just joining, if you share, we'll draw a name next week and give you guys a
pair of tickets for sharing this video. Share this video so more people can be like, what the fuck are they talking about tomorrow?
Funny Mushroom Head reference, if you actually look at my bar, which we're sitting at right now, I accidentally made it look exactly like Super Buick.
Purple and the blue.
Purple and the blue and the chrome and the stripes.
We don't give too much of it away. But.
Yeah, we're not open yet, but we will be soon. By the end of the year, a couple weeks.
And I'll tell you what, we'll have some gatherings here.
So we gotta go. We're still talking bands. Now we're on. Yeah. We gotta go. We gotta move on to Daniel.
Yeah.
Or did you even wrap up the?
No, I was gonna say I just played in Dope with Dan.
Oh, that's right.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
there's a pivot.
I don't know. Everything I just did, I'm missing because I can't remember anything now. I remember everything from 20 years ago.
What's next?
People aren't throwing out names. They even said Dope.
Yeah, just playing Dope with Dan. That was a funny phone call. Yeah, but go ahead. That'll all intersect eventually.
Well, I play and I also drum tech, so I double dip because why not? But I started out playing a band called Snafu. First band, we were terrible, horrible. We had a great time though. They would come heckle us because we were just babies then.
Fuck yeah.
Then we tried getting you and Snafu. We were like, maybe Rick Thomas is coming to our show tonight. Maybe he'll play samples in our band too. It was at the Fantasy nightclub. We were so stoked, and you're like, yeah, you guys are terrible. Yeah, like, no lube at all, just straight up.
I did. That's how I've always been.
Well, we would hang out though. We were just busting each other's balls all the time. Then Literal was my second high school band. What?
I'm just laughing.
Sorry.
What was after that?
After Literal?
Yeah, I don't even remember my own shit. I remember everything else. I don't remember my own shit.
We did a thing called Word for a quick second.
We did Word, then I just bought a brand new drum set, beautiful Yamaha double bass drum set.
Did you get the fire extinguisher?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there.
We set up our shit and we were sharing a spot with a couple of dudes and we left for the night, came back the next day and everything was covered in fire extinguisher dust. Like, what the fuck? And your PA got destroyed. The Macedonia Schoolhouse.
That's how it went at the Macedonia Schoolhouse.
Okay, Macedonia Schoolhouse. That's a horror movie.
The Donia.
Everyone's everything got destroyed.
Yeah.
I would pack up every night and bring my shit home.
That was heartbreaking.
It was scary.
But I probably deserved it because I probably put firecrackers in your old drummer's drum kit while you guys recorded and It was
That's-
it was a thing.
That sounds about right.
I'm incriminating myself in terrible things. But anyway, I would tour with Mushroomhead drum teching for those guys because he got me the gig doing that. Him and Fatback threw my name in. I drum tech.
Oh, I trained you to do that.
Yeah. You're like, here, this is your thing. Take this.
Right,
You're gonna have a great time.
Oh, you want to
It'll be
do
great.
this, kid? Here you go. Go nuts.
2 weeks in, I'm like, this sucks. Like, fuck. So
It's a
started
hard,
doing
it's a
that.
hard gig.
Became an aquatic percussionist for many years and the secondary drummer in Mushroomhead. Then I quit to go drum tech for Marilyn Manson and held that down for the better part of a decade.
Aquatic percussionist. Fill us in for those who might not know.
What are the
It
water
is
drums?
water drums in the band Mushroomhead. It would be 2 kick drums, light under it, water on top, splish splash, taking a bath. It's a great time.
Aquatic percussion is
Yeah.
always the making it sound fancier. You know,
Yeah, you
term.
know, yeah.
It's more of our inside joke.
But we would
but
sit-
the water drums.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like aquatic percussionist.
it
played
sounds
No,
good,
yeah,
right?
it sounds.
Right,
It
right.
sounds.
played
Pretty,
for
it sounds
Dope
more
by then, right?
badass. when you-
Oh yeah, because we were on tour with Mushroomhead, then the drummer at Dope at one point, he left that day, and I played the next day, and
Racy
Dope,
Shay.
yeah,
Good old
Racy
Racy
Shay,
Shay.
the man with
Uncle
the plan,
Larry.
Uncle Larry.
Uncle
Love
Larry.
that guy. He has had a birthday.
So Mushroomhead, Dope, Marilyn Manson, Ventana, Cyclone 9, Crossbreed. I'm losing word.
Nocturne.
Keratoma.
Oh yeah, you filled in Keratoma a couple
Yeah.
times. You filled in Slumbox once too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slapbox, and I got blamed for breaking a drum set I didn't break.
In what?
In the rider truck, remember the drummer wanted to
Oh.
kill me because this drum set got scratched and
I fired him on the ride home.
yeah, it was another thing I played the next show the next day.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
same
right.
thing.
That's-
It was like the year of the next day,
That's fucking funny.
2005.
Oh man, we played that 216 show in Flint,
Yeah,
and
that's where the drums got
and
fucked up. And he's like, that motherfucker fucked my drums up on purpose. Like, I didn't even touch those fucking things. I didn't even load out. I dipped out. Fucking. But
"Oh, I fired him on the way home and called you."
Yeah, I played the show that day or the next day. But yeah.
Everybody's asking about Scott. Where's Scott at?
So Scott couldn't get out of work because he's
Yeah.
got a night job. He's got a thing. So we didn't want to cancel doing this just because Scott couldn't get out of work.
Scott's working
We
on a
can,
night.
we can start shit talking Scott if that's what will make him feel better.
Yeah, make him feel like part of the band.
Trish can put on a Scott wig.
Yeah, get in here.
Scott?
She can be a Scott avatar. We can do a Scott filter on her face.
Scott filter.
No, he couldn't get out of work.
But he's gonna be at the show.
Of course,
Oh,
yes.
Because a lot of people are asking.
Right, no, of course. He's,
Oh, yeah.
he's,
Oh, yeah,
he's singing
sorry.
at the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll turn it over to Eric.
So yeah, then we got.
Circus and Dead Squirrels, Static X, a couple of things that are thrown out here.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Duh.
those things. Yeah.
God damn it! How do we forget about this
It's
stuff?
the incestual.
Because it's immediate. I can, like I said, I can remember 1998. I can't remember yesterday.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I drum tech for Static X, have for since the reinventing of the band in 2019. We're on tour with Mushroomhead. They needed a guy to kind of like make some things happen recording wise. I said, oh, you should meet this dude. Made that happen now.
Thanks,
He's
buddy.
done. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Boy.
Yeah.
So that relationship turned into.
Yeah, I've done some
Yeah.
production for Static. I've been doing it for Dope for that last record.
Yeah.
Virus got a virus, and I got called to show up in 22 hours.
Virus got a virus.
Virus got sick. I hope he's feeling better.
Yeah. Hope you finally took a dump, buddy.
Oh, what a great guitar player. He's amazing.
Hell of a kisser.
Hell of a kisser. I'm gonna take your word for it.
He knows.
From Tech from Mudvayne,
Yeah.
Zombie, right?
Yeah.
That's getting thrown out here. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of folks that are
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, people are telling him his resume.
We're all so busy. It's
Hey, you forgot about this.
Hey, internet. What did I just do?
Yeah, exactly. Drum Tech, Marilyn Manson, Mudvayne, Rob Zombie, Static X, Mushroomhead, basically anybody that'll hire me. So if you like your drum set up nice, I'm your dude.
That's a bunch of my favorite bands.
Yeah, it's just nice to work if you're doing double duty too. I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of my career. It's awesome. It keeps you
You
in
can put-
shape.
You can play music and get paid.
Exactly. It's a bonus. So, yeah, it's been a crazy little wild ride. And the Ventana, most importantly. 20 years of Ventana.
20 years.
Still trying to. Yeah.
Still trying to make it happen. Never gonna make
Yeah.
it.
We're gonna make it.
Maybe when we're 60.
That's right. 60's the new
Never give
25.
up.
Yep.
Never give up.
Yep.
I don't know you're 60 behind, the
No,
basket and,
yeah. Well, it's cool to be 60 when you're already like established and you're already Metallica, but like to not be at that level when you're still trying, it gets rough.
It kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I feel like, a band like Ventana was definitely ahead of its time. 'Cause there's stuff I hear on like XM radio where I'm almost like, we probably would have more of a standing chance now if we had this record now, not 10 years ago.
I feel like that too.
But that happens to a lot of shit out there.
Even the last couple of shit, if we had waited till like last year, here we are.
Forgot one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Twisted.
Twisted.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Out of all of them, I don't know why I like Twisted. Playing that shit, it's even when they come in the room, it's like looking at them. There's something about those two, something special.
You look like you enjoy it too.
I have a fucking blast with this hip hop.
Yeah, it's
I
different.
lose my mind.
Right.
Now you can talk all the shit you want about juggalos, all that whole world. We had a blast. Me and this motherfucker used to go see ICP.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
All of
shows.
us.
Yeah.
Shit that ICP before we did in 19. That was a blast. Those guys are
So much
super
fun.
cool. The crowd's so gracious. They're just happy you're there. They just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Hygiene's questionable, but other
Yeah, it was fun.
when you're on tour, so is mine.
Like a stone throw away, the coconuts used to be right there. We
Yep.
stood in line for like 19 hours and
Yeah.
beat them and shit.
Yep. Yeah, it's right around the corner.
20 years
We're
ago.
missing. Yeah.
So yeah,
Eric, what'd you do, buddy?
Eric's got a fucking resume too.
Yeah.
Bands he's been in.
What did I do?
What did you do?
What
have you done?
I'm very fortunate to be a part of this. I think I got connected with Rick through John Sestar,
Right.
back in the day, and it was just me picking up some songs they had come in, click-clacking around, and I started writing lyrics for them, and then it just kind of worked, and it added a different vibe to the music, I think.
Right.
And we just kept working together.
Well, it was
together.
because dude, it's more about starting talking about bands you've been in and stuff you've done in the scene. But
Yeah.
it's because Eric here is a singer. I'm gonna speak for him, I guess, because he's a fucking singer of the band called Battlestar, which I immediately fucking fell in love with. Eric's got an insane, unique fucking voice, and when we latched on to him, it was like he's got to be a part of this. So we started, sending him shit. But Eric, you've been in other bands like that. That's
I mean, my first bigger
Leading up
band
to Ventana.
was Audible Thread, and we did some regional touring and stuff, and we had a great time. And then
That was your first band?
But there's
that-
I think you were in something before
I thought
that.
there was something before that.
are we talking about Rut?
I don't know.
Wow.
I dropped my high school band.
I remember Rut. I remember Rut, but that's not what I'm thinking of.
No, not the.
It was an Audible Thread straight to Battlestar.
Yeah, it went Audible
No
Thread,
shit.
Star, and then
You lucky-
hang out with
you
guys.
But
lucky-
Audible
motherfucker.
Thread, you guys used to always be nominated for shit and be
Yeah,
playing. You guys were a
we did-
big deal for
Yeah.
We did really
second.
well. I've always put a lot of action into the background of stuff. The music is the most important part, but I always want to make sure we had a show going on, and I think that's what I kind of got inspired by watching what you do, as far as really building that big show, and I think that's what kind of coming up to now. When when we started talking about the show that we're going to be doing on the 13th, when you guys, I kind of hang out in the cut, but when you guys were talking about it, I'm like, wow, how are we going to pull this off on the side room at the Agora? I'm like, this is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then everything started clicking in. I'm like, oh, we're playing in the big boy room.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, put your big boy pants on.
And
Big boy shorts.
I have a really good experience about that room. This is my home, so I've always wanted to play on that stage and in this format. I've been very fortunate where I got to do double duty, where I did my Dawn Lights band. We got to open up for, I think it was a Mushroom Head Halloween show, I think, and then I got to play with you guys after that. And man, the feeling of being in a mid-tier band and hearing the volume like that, and then going on an hour later and playing on the next level,
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
I could feel my voice come through my feet. And I am so excited to see what's going to happen on this show because I've never had that opened up like on that level. So I'm really excited for that. And plus, just being coming back home and like this being my hometown, like this is a really, really big deal for me. So I'm pretty hyped, and I can't wait to feel my feet tingle. I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Oh,
they're going to
I'll tell you what, that's a good point. You say this is your hometown. Are you guys all like Northeast Ohio?
Yeah, I'm Royalton.
Right?
He's
Yeah.
Royalton.
Royalton.
Concord.
What?
Concord.
Concord. Where the fuck is that?
Way the fuck
Oh.
over there.
Yeah.
Things are lighting up here in the comments. Remember, if you guys are watching, if you share this video, your name will be put in a drawing, and if your name is drawn next week, you get a pair of tickets to the January 13th. Is that right, 13th?
January 13th at
Saturday.
Pandora.
Where are
I'm
you
grabbing a
going,
beer.
right?
I'm grabbing a beer.
Grab me a beverage if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah. So it's great because there could be, when you guys go back and check out this video, you're gonna see just comments. You know, people are interacting with each other. They're busting balls out there. They're having some fun.
Good.
And
Good.
there's even who's it? Mike. I'm losing it because he's Mike Hatchett said.
Mike Roch.
Never.
You better buy a ticket. You buy a ticket from Florida, Mike?
Thank you,
I know
sir.
that.
Yeah, Mike said he's never heard Eric speak. And completely surprised at his voice. So
Very baritone.
yeah.
It's like Axl Rose.
Yeah.
You hear him sing and you hear him speak, and you're like, that's the same person.
Yeah, and so he's like that's a dreamy voice talking about Eric when you were speaking. So things are
Dream about it every day.
going up, yeah.
Every night. Every day. Night and day. Rock and roll all night. Part of every day.
20 years. Who would have thought?
20 years.
A lot of folks. I mean, there was several questions about Scott, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there
Scott,
were
right?
a bunch of questions.
Yeah,
saying,
everything's all good with Scott. He's just
No,
he had
Scott's
to work.
great. He's just not
he had to
here.
work,
Yeah.
and we didn't want to cancel doing this, so
Yeah.
he couldn't be here.
The show on the 13th, is that, everybody's like, is that the first of a few? Is there going to be
No,
other
that's
shows?
it. That's just
That's
it.
it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Like it meaning like
That's it until further notice.
So further notice.
Right.
You know, it's like because it's like we all got so many other things going on, and again, 20 years of not to like be like a negative thing, but 20 years of trying to like make something happen. It starts taking its toll financially when you don't actually make it to those levels you need to, where you're just like losing all your fucking money. So it's more of like we know there's a lot of people that really love and enjoy this band, and instead of like playing 6-7 local shows all year long, doing little people here and there, you know what I mean? Just do one massive fucking party to celebrate the band until further notice. If Metallica calls us and needs an opener, sure,
Right.
we'll go do it, But as of right now, like this is it because we did the Odeon show. It was kind of like, hey, I was going to do the Haunted House. Dan's out on tour doing all kinds of shit. Tom's doing all this other shit. Now he's got his other bar endeavor going on. Eric had moved out of state for a while, and Scott was joining Mushroomhead. So it's just like everything is like everyone's got their own thing, and everyone should make sure they get their own thing because there is no retirement in industrial metal. You have to have your other thing. So everyone got to get some solidity in. It's not even a word. It's solidity.
I like it. No, it's solidity.
In other things, step away from it for a minute, do that, and go. Okay, let's do one show that matters, where it can actually make money, to where we can put on a bigger show, where we're not making a ton of money, but we're not losing a bunch of money by trying to keep breaking this band that isn't working. Because unless everyone knows the name of the game is you got to pay to play. Unless you got the money to get noticed, you're not going to get noticed. And unfortunately, we just can't play that game. So we're just going to do one party a year until further notice.
The visuals. The visuals are, certainly from my, minuscule perspective, are such an important thing. Tell us about kind of the origins of that. I mean, probably as we heard, your background, we know where some of that is coming from, but you guys are bringing not only great sound, but you can bring, a spectacle, a big show. Tell us kind of, behind the magic there.
I think it was just our way of getting to be like our heroes almost and put on a show and feel like it, if that makes sense.
Sure, it's
Like,
just it's inspiration from you love Guar and you love Manson and you love and are in Mushroomhead and I think all of us always gravitated to bands that were more than just music, and I love bands like Pantera and Metallica and all
absolutely.
that. That just we're the fucking amps and we're the fucking drums and we're the fucking PA
Kings of heavy metal.
Hook, goddamn it. I love that shit too, but what I really love is Nails and Pink Floyd and
Manson.
bands that look like a thing too, and I've always been akin to it, and these guys have, and said it's hard to do when you have $11 to do it with, but hey, we take our $11 and we do our goddamn best. And
But when you look back at like the old Manson and then you look, it's like, oh, they just took VHS
right,
tapes.
what did they do
that.
with their $11?
Oh, Twiggy looks so cool. He just got some coat from the thrift store and a wig, and then people don't. You think that everyone knows what we're into now. We're old now,
Right.
so it's like some people see us and they're like,
That
"Oh, you
happened
look so
quick.
cool, man." It's like, well, I just ripped up all of his shit from Antichrist or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's so funny.
And this guy happens to be fucking awesome at it.
Yeah.
You want?
There was a moment too, and that's something that I learned from you was being in a situation where you have to put on a character at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you're a younger band, like I remember seeing like young kids, they were wearing the face paint and all the shit like the whole fucking day long. Whereas like when you get on stage, well, it's not special anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. You
Like,
change into it.
You have to become that character. And
Right.
That has to be a persona.
And to me, that's like when I got into music. I was a haunt actor before I got into music, so it's like the character acting and not breaking character, and not letting you don't want the customers waiting in line to see you being Mark.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be.
It's fucking important.
You have to be the character,
Or-
so you
or-
have to sell it.
There has to be a clear one or the other. I'll hang out as Mark all night, and then be like, all right, well, I'll see you guys later, and you come back out as this big scary
And then
thing.
also being a fan of bands like Manson and Nails, where you saw them and you only saw them as that person.
At
to
their
where-
best.
So when you see Manson at fucking
And then
the
now,
Hard Rock Cafe,
it takes
wearing khakis and
the magic goes away.
Right.
So it's like you don't want to ever see the wizard behind the curtain.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I would even
It makes a big difference.
even in bands I did where there wasn't like a lot of face paint or big spectacle or anything. It was like driven into me where like I showed up in boots and shorts, but when it was time to play, I changed into different boots and shorts. Like these are my show boots and shorts. It's a different person.
And I'll give this to you. I don't know how many times you annoyed the shit out. I wanted to kill you having to put on these stupid outfits and the masks. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, he's fucking right. No matter how I got sweat going over this goddamn military grade gas mask, I'm like, I want to kill him right now, but it looks fucking badass.
You see the photos of it, and you're like, all right, I get it.
I just want to be the haunt actor with the fucking Nikes on that are white. But I get it. So I respect.
It's hard to
Very much respect, my
it's,
friend.
It's a huge oversight that lots of bands don't think about.
and
'Cause if you're gonna do a gimmick and an image, you have to do it right.
if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
And it is hard to.
Well, it doesn't have to be a gimmick either. Like, I mean,
It's not,
like the
right.
stuff I was doing with Battlestars, like I wanted to make that a fucking show. Like,
Right, gimmick sounds like a derogatory term, but I don't know. I love professional wrestling. Everything's a gimmick. And
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I meant
Right. Some people think of gimmick as bad, like you're faking it.
No,
Yeah, I mean you're faking it a little bit, but it's just like the way The Rock explains it. It's just your personality on 11.
Rick, at one point you had mentioned, this was when we had interviewed a couple years ago, you said that the switch, I hope I'm remembering this correctly, the switch was the contacts. When the contacts went in, that's when you transformed.
That makes it
to-
easier.
when I know I got contact lenses in my eyes, it's a different ball game. 'Cause there were shows on tour in Mushroomhead, like I put on the mask and everything else, and to get all painted up, and like my contact lens tore or whatever, or I can't remember what the hell it was, and I had to go do a show without it. I literally didn't even feel the same. I don't know what it is, but it's like when you have that other layer of I'm no longer Rick Thomas, I'm now this. It's like when you can erase more of who you are, that's easier to get into character to me.
Yeah.
And when you know you have those things, even your boot, like there was a couple shows I had to play in shoes and not my boots, and I felt weird because I didn't have my boots. I don't know. how to describe it, but
How about the rest of you? Is there anything that you're like, there is a switch?
There is a switch there.
yeah.
It clicks for me, but I don't think there's any specific one thing. It's kind of just when it's like, okay, it's time. Well, it just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens. I'm like, standing outside the stage, warming up, talking to you 1 second, and the lights go down, and the song or the sample plays, and I'm like, okay, I'm weird now. I was doing push-ups 10 seconds ago, and now I don't know. And the more different I look, for sure. Especially if I catch a glimpse like right before I go, I'm like, I look fucking weird, and now I'm weird. But
I don't know about you guys. I just go into a weird universe before shows. Just nothing matters. Like death doesn't matter, life doesn't matter. It's just in the moment. That's what matters. Right
this is
now.
what's happening, and that's all that matters.
That's a cool thing overtake you. Not to sound like weird, but it's like that's all that matters at that point.
I have a very different experience than you guys because you guys all get to put on masks and do a little face paint, and that's fine. I have a 2-hour process where I'm not allowed to talk to anybody. I can't go outside. I have to sit there and watch people just do bong rips around me. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is what I'm doing for the next 3 hours because the makeup takes so much, but it looks fucking awesome.
You look great.
yeah, Ron George always does his makeup usually as well. Another local person, Ron George.
It's a process, but it feels
cool.
again like what these guys are saying. It's that switch. As soon as I start getting in that mode, I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing. I don't care about.
Sure.
It's just about I'm gonna go put on this really really awesome show,
And
I can't wait to fucking do it.
These worlds don't usually cross over, but I played sports through high school and all that, and it was kind of the same thing, right? Where here's the things it's the day of the thing, I'm doing the things I need to do, I'm doing the things I need to do, and in 2 minutes I have to be a completely different person, and when they're like, okay, it's time, and here I am.
Even with the trashing, when we destroy our gears, sometimes people are just like, "What the fuck? What's wrong?" We're laughing on the inside. And people are like, "What?
Right,
What the fuck?"
Grew up with liking bands that did that shit.
Right.
So when you get to kind of do it on stage,
This is
it's
what you do. It feels awesome.
you get that satisfaction of I got to be Nirvana, I got to be 9 Inch Nails for a minute, I got to be Marilyn Manson.
Right.
Who back in the day, the fucking
that vibe,
'60s,
get
they were
that high
blowing
from it.
kick drums up on television and
Right.
shit's
I mean,
crazy.
if you guys ever broken stuff, it's cool.
I don't know if you ever thrown a kick drum across the stage, but it's kind of liberating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda said that your show during COVID, was kind of saved her, right?
Oh yeah.
Was that the last show that you guys played?
No, not
Yeah,
during
we did a
COVID.
couple more
we
after
were
that.
we were the first band that started jumping off that whole thing of all right, private. Because I learned
That was the one in Lakewood, right?
because when I learned from Universal and then brought it into the haunt, and we were the only haunt that opened Slaughterhouse during COVID in the area. Immediately flipped that into the Ventana. I'm like, private show, limited capacity, masks, blah blah blah. We can still make this work, and we made it work.
We put
cool. At a
Scott-
time where people really wanted to fucking get concerts and be normal. We were the only one taking that risk.
Sure, we'll do it as safe as we can. We'll do it the best we can. We'll follow the guidelines. We'll do everything right.
We did it.
Scott was in the ball.
Yeah, we did it safe. We put Scott in a fucking COVID ball.
Yeah, it made for cooler shows, and it honestly made the light bulb go off even more as far as we have a really cool, awesome, dedicated fan base. So it's let's give them one cool show a year, which then brought more of the whole less is more when you're at the level we're at. So then we did a few of those shows through COVID. Where we did a couple. We did 2, right? 2 different ones.
We did 2 nights in a row.
And then everything started opening up.
Yeah. Then we did the Odeon with the first time coming back.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Then we said goodbye. Now we say hello.
Yeah, and the final show was the highest drawing show we ever had, and it was just insane to go, wow.
I was at that show, and I was kind of hanging in the back, just tipping back Cold One and Cold Ones. And there were people that, I was just kind of shooting the breeze, and there were folks from out of state. There was Michigan, Pennsylvania, people
Canada, Cali,
all over the place.
Texas.
Check you guys out.
Yeah. It's good to see all the people, too, because time flies, obviously, and you're like, I fucking forgot about you. You don't mean anything by it, but like, oh, then your memories go, and it's like, it's a good time to see everybody.
Yeah.
Not that anybody wants to see me.
It's unfortunate because I always, you know, wish that this band had better funding or something like that, because like just knowing the little work that we've done and the impact that you have with fans that actually give a shit about this band, you wonder how bigger could that be, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
Because Ventana got to go to Europe even once with the Shroom,
We went to Europe.
which is insane. But like over there, holy fuck, they right away loved it.
Yeah.
You know, to where like we have fans worldwide, and it sucks that we can't
go back and
a
see
normal
them.
band. We just can't. We literally cannot. Like there's no label, there's no funding, there's no nothing. It's just us.
There's
you know?
a demand,
like, so
but
it
there's not
sucks
enough.
because I hate it because it sucks because I figure like what could this band have been? You know, if it fucking had
Never give up, man.
money behind it.
I love her so much.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are a ton of people watching, commenting. The comments are moving fast, so I'm not even able to kind of keep up with them. Patrick Spicoli Smith said, didn't
There you
somebody almost die from a thrown symbol?
I was going to bring that up. Dan almost killed Scott.
Okay.
At Peabody.
Okay.
I almost going to throw up because I thought Scott was dead.
Once and for all, let's
All right.
address this whole thing. We're breaking all the gear, yada, yada, yada. Our video guy, the Samoan, told the lighting lady, oh, black out here, black out. The entire stage blacks out. So I have a hi-hat stand, everything in my hand.
As you do.
Yes,
As one does.
in mid-swing, and I come down, and I feel it hit, and it doesn't feel like carpet of stage or a light or anything. It
Feels like
feels
a human.
feels foreign. Go, go, go.
I'm gonna throw up
Our
thinking about
tech, dude, it's horrible. So I go outside at old Peabody's at that point. I'm sitting at the thing like cooling off, then our tech comes out like, hey,
I thought he was dead. I thought he was
Scott's dead.
I thought he was
I'm like,
dead.
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Scott's dead. And they like start wheeling him out, pulling him out, and apparently I hit him in the back of his skull with the hi-hat. Full swing. So I have his current girlfriend screaming at me, you killed my fucking boyfriend! I have our lighting girl going, you broke $3,500 lights! And I have the police are coming in. It's like, it's a scary feeling to hear that you killed somebody, and very, very scary.
I was in the back alley throwing up.
Yeah.
And your shows are bloody, right? So you're kind of like, I mean...
Scott's alive.
Scott's alive.
Yeah.
Scott's
Dan
alive.
knocked him as Chris, was it Chris Drucker?
Yeah.
Knocked him the fuck out. But we had a show the next day in Sandusky, and he was in the hospital all night, and he did the show the next day, and had to wear a gas mask with the... So props to you, Scott. Sorry I almost killed you. It was an accident.
Hey, we're glad you're alive.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up, Patrick Spicoli.
We didn't get stitches.
I was almost going to bring that up.
Stitches and a concussion, probably?
He got stitches and a concussion and a pretty cool hospital bill. And
Hospital bills are pretty cool.
It was $3,500 in lights. So our entire guarantee went to broken lights and a hospital bill.
Man. What do we
That's
expect?
actually pretty good.
Pretty good.
What are we going to see on January 13th?
Scott's murder.
Yeah, the actual murder of
I'm going to
Scott
be
Beck.
there, and
We're going to see
Rick's gonna be
Crossbreed,
there.
Yep.
Cyclone 9, Psycho Stick, and the one
It's
and
like
all
Wayne
Ventana.
Yeah, it's
In all
mostly
their
just,
glory.
you know, big party with friends that, all the openers are bands that have worked with, you know, Ventana or we played with, you know, over the years.
Right, worked on tour with.
We're friends with, like Psycho Stick's fucking close friend of ours.
these guys were.
And they're fucking so fun.
We just want to have fun.
We want to have just a fun show, you know, no bullshit.
Not a
normally-
million bands.
No, yeah, I don't even care. I'm just gonna fucking say it. But you know, sometimes you know you put on a lot of these like local bands, and they sell 20 tickets, and then they act like they brought your whole fucking crowd, and then they're jerks and they cause problems. Like throughout the years, we've dealt with a lot of bands that have like dealt with that shit, and then like
Then
you know.
we figured it out.
Right?
You do your own
and then
show.
we figure it out.
That's it.
We do our own show. We
can
literally
be
are
the
bringing.
dicks.
We're the only local band on the show, and we're headlining, and it's doing insane on the pre-sale.
And as we've been talking about all night, being a local band is hard.
It sucks.
And if
But
you're
it's
not,
fun though.
Yeah, right. And if you're not well adjusted, or I don't know, it's easy to get upset. It's everyone in every band mostly is putting all their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it's easy to fly off the handle or get upset about something dumb.
It's easy to get jealous too.
It's easy,
no one
right.
wants to admit that. Like, oh fuck, that
Sure.
ain't shit. Like, just admit
Right.
it, man. You're jealous. I do.
Right.
Yeah, because we've had like all kinds of bands that like will later go like, oh, we sold all the tickets to their show. They don't draw no one. It's like,
Right.
all right, well, we just did.
All right, well then we'll do it without you. That's fine.
We got the tickets.
And
that
now
were
if
marked
three-
Plus, we're old. We don't even know like what bands are out there anymore.
Right, no,
Exactly.
and that's
We're still talking about like local bands from 20 years ago that are
Right.
big hits.
and it's what it's fun to just put exactly what we do. We just put our friends on the show, and we know they'll be cool and be fun, and
Then it's on us. If,
Yeah,
if we
and
do
our,
it.
and our fan base knows those bands. They're fans of those bands, so it's making it more of like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, we got to go see all those bands in one spot. It's like a mini festival.
shit,
No, it's gonna be a fun
the
night.
years I was in Mushroom
All
Head,
the
I
bands
would
are
I
cool.
would do my best to put my friends' bands on that I knew 90% of the Mushroom Head fan base wouldn't like. And
Yeah.
kept putting Axioma on. It was so fun because they're so good.
Yeah,
But they're
I
like
love that band.
Well,
really dark, brutal, like thrash, black death metal. But they're fucking main supporters of Mushroom Head. It's awesome. And I would tell them too. I was like, all right, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to play right before us. We're going to pay you. You're going to sell a ton of merch. And like 90% of the crowd's going to hate your guts. And you're going to make up 200 new fans. And they're like, hell yeah. And that's exactly what would happen every time. It's awesome. Love
Yeah,
it.
they were great.
Oh, they still are. Yeah, they just put, they either have an album coming out or it just came out.
Yeah, Axioma.
Axioma.
We had to explain this finally. It's not a big crazy thing, but the bro shit. But we always get asked, like, what's with the bro shows?
The bro shows.
Yeah, what's with the
about
bro
them?
shows? So we get asked this a lot. Sometimes we dress up like bros, college kids. You know, the hats all fucking.
Pop collars.
So this
Black
originated,
stripes.
or what? Yeah, originated? Would that be the right word?
Originated,
I
yeah.
dropped the
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, we were playing Peabody's with this band, Dead Star Assembly. Well-respected goth dudes, very, very well put
Floridians.
together.
Very
Like
Florida.
widow
Florida
faces.
goths.
So we're playing with them. We decide, you know what, man? Wouldn't it be funny to like go up there before them and like play like college kids and like have dudes in referee outfits?
Well,
and
not be
beer
because they were already
bongs?
like overly gothing out the whole fucking city
It's
at
like going
that
the
day.
opposite
So we're like,
direction.
we don't want to be another scary, goofy, scary industrial band before them. So yeah, we
And you
decided to look like college frat dudes,
And we had the best time of our lives that
and
night.
people had no idea how to take it.
We had nihilists.
yeah, I drove me and Steve Rockhorse dressed up as nihilists.
We had beer bongs.
Yeah.
We had red flags for ex-guitar
Right,
players on stage.
Referees, yeah. There's referees throwing flags.
So that spilled over a couple times. We would dress like for Halloween instead of being all gas masks.
Right,
Scary.
you're scary all year on Halloween. It's like
It's
well,
nice to let loose.
dress
Right?
like us.
Yeah, when you're a costume band, yeah, looking scary, it's funny to.
Have beer kegs on stage.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's Halloween. You're gonna look scary? No, we're gonna look stupid.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Somebody
any
asked
scarier.
about, is it gonna be gas? Is it gonna be gas masks?
I don't. They have to be at the show and find out.
Right.
Yeah, you got my ticket,
All
right?
right. That's it. Buy the ticket, take the ride.
I ain't promising
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
However, I will say, like, the gas mask thing became an issue only because a lot of people don't know this too. Is like, so Matt Foran, the singer of Circus Dead Squirrels, sang on American Survival Guide. He was the singer. Things didn't work out. He couldn't do a tour that we had already booked. Tickets were sold. He had to go do the goddamn tour. It was a 2-week tour. I think it was a 2-week tour, something like that. That we booked. 3-week tour. 3-week tour. A 3-week tour. He couldn't do it, so that's your singer, like the front man. That's not an easy thing to fucking replace at the drop of a dime. So we hit up Steve Rockhorst, our friend, mutual friend, who's now
Luckily, you know Steve.
singing in Mushroom Head. I hit him up and was like, "Hey, Bill, I need you to do this." He learned the shit in a week. We were able to still do the tour. The gas masks only were a thing because I wanted to hide the fact that I didn't want people to immediately see and have doubt in a band that we were trying to launch. Like, hey, we're trying to launch this new band. Here's the album. We're going on tour. The singer quit. So we didn't say shit because this is still the early era where the internet didn't travel as fast as it does, now. So the gas mask kind of became a thing to just hide it all.
Right.
And unfortunately, it just started looking cool.
It's like, cut to 10 years later, fuck this fucking thing.
But as soon as we ditched those gas masks, we realized we started performing better. Like, we could breathe better, we could see better, hear better. So we actually started sounding better live, to where even I'm like, oh, we should probably maybe back off on the gas masks. And
To the point where I'm fighting this dude in practice now. Like, we should wear the gas mask.
Yeah, he used to fight me all the time saying, fuck these gas masks, fuck these gas masks.
Now this dude.
Now he's
Holy shit.
10 years of manipulating me to agree to hate the gas masks. Now I'm like, I'm sold. Fuck them. Dan's like, we should do the gas masks. Fuck you.
Yeah, I just, I was like, the gas mask looks great, and I love it, and I was happy to wear one. And then I wrote all these really hard songs. I was like, you know what? It's really hard to play these in this thing.
Yeah,
and I have a giant head. I can't see. They do look fucking
Put some
cool.
lights inside these fuckers.
Yeah, well, you put it in. No, put it
Instantly shine
inside.
your lights.
So you can see better. Fuck. This shit's hard.
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
We're going to be doing a bunch of crazy shit for the show, so you never know where you're going to see.
I don't know.
The stage
We got
was
some
cool.
We
crazy
talked about it.
surprises and guests and all kinds of fun stuff.
And so, what is your comment? So, 20 years in, right? You guys getting back up on stage. Is
Everything
when
hurts.
I just kind of went back in and listened to a few songs today, just kind of, get myself all worked up for this interview, and I'm like, the sounds, it feels fresh still, right? And I think you might have made that comment earlier. It's like, man, maybe if that, if that music was released today, it might have been received differently.
More of a chance.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of Noah, too. I mean, Noah.
Noah's great. Noah Buchanan.
As far as, who mixes their albums.
Yeah. Noah mixed the last two, and he does a great job. He does a great job at everything.
Yeah,
That dude's infinitely talented. Infinitely.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what. For everybody who's watching, feel free to share this. And if you share, we're gonna put your name in a drawing for a pair of tickets. Even if you have your tickets, share anyway, so you can bring some friends. And
Buy more tickets too.
Please.
Yeah.
You might need two. I don't know.
I heard the great stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
We're over half capacity, so and we're about a month away-ish.
A month from tomorrow. Holy shit.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Like, it's a month away.
Yeah.
It felt like 5 months forever.
It was like, forever. Now it's like right
We
here.
started practicing early too, which
should
we never do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also haven't been together in a year and a half.
Right.
So tell
First few practices were rough, but now it's like fine. It sounds fine.
a month away. What does that mean? Like how does that? What's your? Is it like getting on a bike? You guys, get back up and.
Well, we've been rehearsing at the Haunt, in Edgar, Cleveland, but now we're putting together like what the show's actually going to be, and as far as like the theatrics, stage look stuff, because we're going to make it. It's the Agora Theater, so there's a lot of pressure to that as well, because we can't just have a generic show, and we're only like a 4 or 5 member band. We have to amp it up,
Sure. And rarely do we
Frank
do a
it up.
generic show, but that's a big stage, and we got to fill it up.
Yeah.
A lot of space to fill.
Well, thank you, Tuesday 7 group for joining us tonight. Share away.
We have to talk about the location that we're at too.
We wanna reveal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If it's close to wrap up time, we got to talk about the location.
I'm pretty excited about. I'm only even 10 minutes from here where I live. All to myself.
I'm 6 minutes away. So I've been working on this for almost a year. We got the keys on my birthday, 2022. So this bar is called Never Say Dive. Should be open in the next by the end of the year.
Can I give a little bit of a peek up there?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be all right.
Never Say Dive.
We have a couple things to wrap up. It's in Old Brooklyn on Broadview Road. It's a high-low concept, so you're familiar with your quarter dive bar and you're familiar with your fancy cocktail bar. We are neither and both at the same time. If you want a super high-end cocktail, we have that. You want a shot and a beer, we have that. You want fancy food, we got that. You want bar food, we got that too. Just trying to, it's a call to all walks of life. We want everyone to be comfortable here, and we're going to do a cool job.
We expect hopeful opening
Within 2023. I know we're running out of time here, but might be the last week of, but we're real close.
We're close, but we'll make sure that people know too. And we'll
Yeah, it's almost not even 10 minutes from the haunt.
Yeah.
Nightmare Cleveland. So
Yeah.
it's going to be the hangout place.
Hang out afterward.
Hell yeah. Bunch of weirdos in makeup.
What else
And
did I
then it'll be
miss?
Halloween.
Anything that I missed?
There's a gajillion ex-members of this band. Shout out to them, all 1,000 of you.
Except for the one dude.
Except for
I'm not even mentioning his name.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Except for one guy.
He doesn't deserve him getting wrecked. He still owes me $500.
Thank you for supporting us for 20 years, making our dreams come true. Honestly, it sounds cliche, but it's been a dream to keep a band alive for 20 years and get to play countless shows and make friendships, go to Europe, and from a band that we started, a garage band, we'll say. You know, it's very interesting what you can do in life, as minuscule as it may be.
Yeah, still dicking around with your friends from high school.
Right. And the
making it
relationships
work,
and the
people
things that
actually-
come around full circle sometimes. It's like, is this even reality right now? Like, it's funny. All of us have been friends for a long time, and it's cool to
Not all of us.
look, guy. But it's
No,
it's
I'm
just
very privileged and honored to like be a part of this, and it's been a really awesome experience. So thank you guys very much.
you're a great addition
Thank you.
to the band there.
I hope so.
We wouldn't have
Funny
no
enough-
choruses without you.
Yeah, we don't have no catchy choruses.
Not one.
But it's just crazy of all the years of being together and not killing each other yet.
Except
And
Scott.
coming close.
Yeah.
Scott, so, yeah.
I'll tell you what. We are going to we'll even go live, with your permission, from Yagora for a song or so.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'll be there. I know that a bunch of folks here that are watching will be there. And again, guys, support. Ventana. They're local, right?
Yeah.
And they
And local.
And Loco.
And
There you
loco.
go.
We're local, and we're local.
Yeah. Come
We
out.
appreciate you guys sharing your story. We appreciate you guys joining again. Share away, and we'll draw a pair of tickets next week.
Awesome.
Thank you, Roger.
so much.
Thank you, friends.
Thanks, guys.